What's up, guys? This is Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, and the broader markets. I'm break down some big news that came out for Tesla, what's happening with the economic calendar, and also what's going on with Tesla stock as we're seeing this consolidation right now. And there could be some upside if this inverse head and shoulders pans out, at least for a temporary basis. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link that's down below. If you sign up for Moomoo and deposit $100, you're going to get $20 of free Nvidia stock. Deposit $2,000 to get $50 worth of the stock. Deposit $10,000 to get $300 worth, and deposit $50,000 for $1,000 of free Nvidia stock. This offer ends very soon, so please check out my links before they run out. Anyways, now let's talk about what's happening with the market. So as far as Tesla's going, I just want to mention that we have a very, very nice looking potential left shoulder here. This could be like a head. And this could look like a right shoulder if Tesla's about to get a temporary bounce back up towards 325 to the low 330s. Then we'll see if we reject back down from there once we try to wick right back up. We're going to see how well Tesla holds up if that setup pans out or not. But keep in mind, we're still stuck in this pennant. We're still consolidating overall. Even if we do pump a bit, it might be followed by downside. There's been times we kind of like broke above the pennant only to come back down. So you want to be very, very careful as time goes on. Now, there's been some news about Tesla. Uh, Basically, Elon Musk has ordered Tesla to shut down its Dojo supercomputer team, with the team leader, Peter Bannon, departing the company, according to Bloomberg News. That's important news that just came out. Also, what's going on is the Dojo supercomputer was designed around custom training chips to process vast amounts of data and video. Instead, the company is going to be relying more on Nvidia and AMD to compute and Samsung Electronics for chip manufacturing. And they're basically reallocating their employees. They're going to be redirecting them into different sectors instead, whereas other ones are going to be leaving and forming a different company. So that's some big news, at least so far. Despite this, Tesla still has a lot of optimism because of all these chip deals, and Tesla's going to be fine because they're still developing FSD, at least in different areas. Most of the employees are going to stay, but they're going to be once again working in different departments. And it is what it is, guys. That is what's going on, at least so far. Not really a bad piece of news or too terrible. I think that Tesla's going to be completely fine nonetheless. Now, on top of this, Elon Musk reposted this video of a Cybertruck, and basically, there's people that they shoot bullets at the Cybertruck to show how it truly is bulletproof and how well it really could work in different situations. So cool stuff, at least for now. Now, a couple of pieces of news. I just wanted to say that when it comes to President Trump, once again, he is working on potential deals, and he's been speaking a lot with India's prime minister and many other important leaders about the deals so far. But I haven't seen a change in policy yet. On top of this, today's Friday. Keep in mind we just have minor data, but on Monday, we have even more minor data. We just have some bill auctions. But on Tuesday, we have CPI coming out in the morning. So there's only going to be two more trading days, basically today and then on Monday. And then we have CPI coming out. So we'll see what that leads to. On top of this, keep in mind that there's not really too much coming out for earnings. But for next week, President Trump is saying that he wants to increase tariffs to about potentially 100% on imported chips. We'll see when he ends up doing this. If he ends up increasing these tariffs, it could have a big effect on a lot of different companies. So we'll see what that leads to. And once again, the world is going to get ready for these higher tariffs. We're going to see if the stock market is going to get a delayed response or not. That's going to be very, very important. Today, there's a very, very mixed options chain. We have a 1.4, options chain, 630s max pain, and we're going to see if this causes market makers to dip things. For now, as far as Tesla is going, it's very simple. We have an inverse head and shoulders setup. Now, if we dip, if you want to be a bear, you want to see us lose 315. If 315 fails us, we're looking for a dip back down towards 310 or below. But if we hold above 320, we're looking for an attempt for 325. We could even try to wick above this pennant, and then we could kind of turn back down from there. That would be completing the inverse head and shoulders. That's the more bullish case. So long as we don't lose like 320, if we could hold it, I do think we're going to try to push for 325 to 330. Then we could turn back down off this pennant and then return into this wedge all over again. So if we lose 315, it's going to be a bit more bearish for Tesla. We could be dipping back down to the lows we saw over here. But as long as we're above that, we're watching to see if we could hold above 320. If so, we're looking for a push to 325 to 330, and then we'll see if we turn. So keep that in mind. As far as SPY goes, okay, I do want to warn you guys that, there is a possibility that this is, once again, a head and shoulders setup. This is kind of like a left shoulder here. This could be like a head, and this could be like a right shoulder. And then we're going to see if this kind of like turns down from there, just like that. Or another potential setup is going to be like this. We have to see if this high is taken out or not, because this could also be like a left shoulder, a head, and the right shoulder. If we can't take out 638, we could turn right back down. And we have this gap to fill. So I need to see SPY basically push above 635. If that breaks, we're looking for 638. If we break those resistances, we're looking for a nice breakout for the 640s. But if we can't break through those levels, there's going to be a risk of us returning to like 632. If it doesn't hold, we could be dipping right down to fill the gap over here. So you want to be very, very careful nonetheless. That's going to be very, very key for SPY. Today, I do think we might try to push it a little bit. We might try to get very close to 635, and we're going to see if we can hold above it or not. If we can't hold above this, there's going to be a risk of us turning back down to 632, back down where our EMAs happen to be. Then we'll see if we hold up or not. But for now, look for an attempt to push for 635. We're going to see if we can try to take out this high or not. If we can't do that, there's going to be a risk of us getting a rejection, and this could be forming a possible head and shoulders. On the QQQ is the same thing. Can we take out 572.5 to 575? We need to break 575 to be bullish, and 572.5 is going to be the next resistance. If we can't take that out, there's going to be a risk of us returning to like 568 or so. And if that fails us, we could be dipping a lot more, especially as we have a gap down here to fill. So are we about to see a rising wedge like pattern? Are we about to see this reject? We have to be very careful with the QQQ, in my opinion. We might try to push upon open. We're going to see if we could break 572 or not. We might try to push towards that area. And then we're going to see if we consolidate and turn or not. If we hold 572, we could be looking for 575. If not, we could turn back down. So be careful. On the IWM, we're trying to push here. As long as we're above 220, we could be favoring 222, and we'll see if we reject or not. But if we end up losing 218, we're looking for a dip back down. So I do favor basically a potential rejection. There is a head and shoulders like here if we can't take out 222. So be careful with that resistance coming up. On ES, it's the same thing. So ES has a very similar setup as SPY. Okay, I'm sure you guys could see this like head and shoulders right here. This is like a left shoulder. This is like a head. And this could be like a right shoulder. We're going to see if we break 6,400 to push higher. If we touch 6,400 and can't break it, we might consolidate and turn back down. So you want to be very, very careful, at least nonetheless. On NQ, we're trying to make higher lows here. Now, if we lose 23,400, we're looking for a dip back down. But as long as we hold this, we could try to continue to uptrend just a bit. I want to see us take out this high around 23,650. If we can't, this could still turn right back down. On Bitcoin, we have resistance at 117,000. If this doesn't hold, we could turn back down to 115,800. So you want to be very careful. For Nvda, we're going to be pushing to 184, but be careful if President Trump does impose new high tariffs. Although we might try to get to the all-time high, we need to break 184 to remain bullish. If not, we might consolidate. And if President Trump imposes new tariffs on Nvidia, this could cause us to dip. We'll see, though. For now, it does still look more bullish. It's favoring 184, and we'll see if we reject off that or not. Aapl has resistance at 222. We need to hold above this or not. If not, we could be dipping to 218. AMD is also dipping right over here. We're basically going to be trying to test 180. We're going to see if we reject or not off this. Keep in mind, we do have this trend line acting as a resistance like this. We'll see if we try to break through this. This could also be like a potential flag forming. So we're going to see if this rejects or not off this resistance. We could try to push for 178. If we hold that, we're looking for a push for like the 180s. If not, we could turn back down to 169. So be careful, and we'll see how it goes. For Coinbase, we look bullish, inverse head and shoulders setup. We could be looking for 317 to the 320s. If we lose 305, we're looking for a dip, and I do favor 317 plus. For Amazon, we have a nice looking accumulation. As long as you don't lose 220, we're actually favoring an attempt for 225 or above. For Meta, I want to see if we could hold 762. If not, we could be dipping back down to fill the gap at 751. So we're going to see how well we hold up here as we consolidate. Be careful as there's a gap to fill below if 762 fails us. Google's trying to push higher, looking for an attempt for essentially 198, and we're going to see if it breaks that. Look for some upside on Google. And Microsoft might be continuing to dip around 513 if we can't hold 522. The VIX, obviously, it has this like falling wedge, but keep in mind that this could be a back test of the wedge. We're going to see if we bounce or not next week. So be very, very careful, guys. The market's looking a little bit more risky. As far as Tesla goes, I could see us try to push higher as long as we hold above 320. We could be looking for 325 to 330. But then we'll see if we reject off that range since we do have this white trend line acting as resistance. So could we push more? Yes, but watch 325 to 330 and see if we reject, and we'll see how it goes. Thank you all so much for listening. Have a good one, and peace out.